So, how y'all doing? It's been a minute. This last 2 weeks have been crazy, but I was moved to do a video because of situations that happened. So basically, to get right into it, I have been, as I said in the previous post, I'm moving. So I've been going back and forth to where I'm moving to, and also I had classes that I needed to take before I start or whatever. So I have been back and forth since the December, end of November. Okay. I normally am by myself, but this time my little brother, and I'm sorry I call him my little brother, but he's 22, 23, not that little, and my mother decided to come with me. So we drove to Baton Rouge where I had to take the class, and we stayed there for 2 days, and we get back in the car, and somebody had left my lights on, but that always happens in the car that I have. The lights will eventually cut off. They're not going to just stay on the inside. So we are coming back on Sunday, and I'm not in a hurry, but I'm kind of in a hurry because when I get back to San Antonio Sunday evening, on Monday I have to leave and go to Dallas. So I'm just like pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. The first time that I should have slowed down is I get a speeding ticket, and I have driven in Louisiana for the last 10 years, going back and forth to visit friends and going to celebrations and things. And I get a speeding ticket, and I get a speeding ticket, and I'm behind people. There are other people around me, but I get literally what is the word I'm looking for? I get selected out, but I didn't take the lesson. I didn't take heed then. So we get to Houston, and my battery light comes on, and I have a relatively new car, so I'm like, dang, what's the battery? Now I've had bad luck with cars, so tires and battery, it makes me nervous because I know what can happen. I always have cars that just cut off while I'm driving. Doesn't matter if it's a 2012, some kind of way I can make the car cut off. So it says immediately pull over. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna make it home. So we're on the way to San Antonio. We're like 80 miles outside of San Antonio, and I'm getting nervous because my whole dashboard has flashed. My radio is cutting on and off. So I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on? So I've been stuck out before. So I pull over at the gas station because I don't want to be stuck on the side of I-10. So I pull over to this gas station, and as I'm braking, the car cuts off. So I coast into a parking spot, and I'm like, okay. So with the car, they came insurance. So I called to get a jump because I'm thinking, oh, it's just my battery or whatnot. Just not thinking anything about it. Get a jump. The car makes it across the street. So now the car, it goes from working to like it's completely dead. But I'm thinking something is wrong because after I cut the car off, the battery comes the excuse me, the radio comes on, and I can charge my phone still. So we're sitting here trying to figure it out, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. It's a little frustrating because we're 80 miles outside of home, San Antonio. We call one place, and I guess they have coverage that they do, but you have to pay for overages. And the nearest tow truck that they can get was coming from somewhere else, and they were going to charge us like $500 to get home. Now, I mean, you want to get home and you want to pay it, but that $500 was like, really? And we don't know what's wrong with it. So we were like, let's think about this $500. So sitting there, have people panicking. They're not panicking, but they're in my ear because I'm just trying to go to a quiet place and just, think about things. So I'm just working on my temper. I have a bit of a temper. So skip, skip, skip. Like 2 hours pass, and we finally get in contact. We get my car towed back with AAA for free. By the way, plug, if you do not have AAA, it is a wonderful investment, okay? It's only like $100 a year. Go ahead and do it because in a crunch, once you spend that $100 that you were going to spend on something else on AAA, when you need it, it comes right in handy. Okay, so we get told we have a wonderful tow truck guy. He gives me all kind of tidbits about information. He's like, if you're moving, keep your home address here because you get more. If you get the platinum level of AAA, you'll get a rental car. Like he's just, it was like the best hour ever. Just really just having a conversation with this guy or whatever was wonderful. That hour that it took to get home could have been so much longer. It was icing on the cake. So after I slept on it that day, because we got home about 8 o'clock, and I'm still kind of loopy because I'm trying not to be mad, but I'm human, so I am because things aren't going perfectly as I planned. So the next day I wake up and just it hit me. I am queen of when people are telling me stories. I don't mean to do it to, take away from your situation, but I'm always queen of it could have been worse, or you were being tested, or, I always have a positive spin on something. But when it comes down to my situation, it took me a whole day to realize it could have been a lot worse. Um, if you've driven in Louisiana, you know that there are many bridges. They don't have shoulders. We could have been stuck on one of those bridges. We could have been just in the middle of traffic. Not much you can do because there's no shoulder. We could have been stuck in Louisiana, where that's another lesson I'm working on is depending on people. Um, I have friends and I have like distant family, but I don't have like people who, if I ask to do something, that I have faith that they'll do it. But that's the issue that I'm working on. Asking, first of all, stepping aside for my pride to ask somebody to do something for me. So that was a lesson in itself, but it was just a test because in my whole head, I think that when you're doing the right thing, that's when you get tested. It's so easy to say, "Oh, I'm godly or I'm Christian or whatever creed and notion that you believe in." It's so easy to say that you're so that when you're on your way, everything is positive, everything is flowing for you. But it's a test when something happens. Can you still say, "Oh, thank you, God," or "Thank you, ABCD," whatever that you believe in? So I took that in stride. And then the message was reinforced when I was telling one of my younger cousins, "Oh my God, I was stuck on the side of the road." And she basically did exactly what I would have done to somebody. Oh, yes, I've been there before, but it could have been a lot worse. So that was a learning lesson for myself. So the message that I have in this video is just talk what you talk and back it up. You can't just be positive and when your situation comes around, you're reaching to pull your hair out or you're making a situation more than what it isn't because things could have been a whole lot worse. We could have been without a cell phone. We could have been without the comfort of a hotel. We were in the hotel parking lot and we just went and got a room because we had to wait a couple of hours. We could have not had money to do that. We could have not had money to get the car towed. So many things could have gone wrong. We literally could have still been sitting there. And, basically to have faith and through tests and trials and tribulations. That's basically it. So there are three things that I want you to take from this video. The first one is, when something is tapping you on your shoulder, don't just ignore it. There is a reason something is tapping you on your shoulder. Take a step back and look and see, like, what am I in such a hurry for? Something is saying slow down. Slow the hell down. Two, there are plan A, plan B, plan C. Laugh and fall back to your fallback plans. That's why they exist. And C, you know, there was nothing that I could have done in this situation because it was my alternator. And the alternators, as I have been told, can just go out. But just, part of part of car maintenance is, maintenance. So I don't really see what I could have done differently in this situation, but just pay a little bit more attention because after the fact, there were little things that if I had have said to somebody that they would have known that, oh, her alternator might be going out because my lights had been a little dim. Um, that was the one thing I noticed. My lights had been dimmer. When I was driving at night, they didn't seem as bright. and the inside lights didn't seem as bright either. So just to pay attention, take heed to everything. So that's basically it. So if you have faith, part of having faith is through the trials and tribulations. And that was a baby trial and tribulation. That wasn't even nothing. 2 days later, I laughed about it because it's not even that serious. Yes, I posted a message about how this girl was saying that somebody had questioned God, and God told her why He did those things. She said, "God, why did you let me be late for work?" And He said, "Because the death angels were at your door, so I had an angel fight your battle for you. So that's why you were late. Um, why did you let my car not start? Because there was a drunk driver that was out, and he would have hit you and killed you." So basically, that's what I take it as. There was some reason for me not to be on my Holly plan. There was a reason for me to be on what God was. So the 4 hours that I lost Sunday, plus I fixed my car on Monday afternoon rather, I would have left for Dallas. So I didn't leave for Dallas until 8, 9 o'clock at night. And even though that wasn't my original plan, that was the best thing that I needed to do for reasons unknown. Got there safely, took the class, stayed an extra day, but got back safely because I'm here to testify right now. So, you know, we have notions and plans that we want to do. So, just learn how to be humble and take the tap on the shoulder. So, basically that's it. I am getting ready to pack, and I don't know what to pack. I need to wash my hair. It's a little funky. Um, so, this is just a positive message. So that's basically it. Just take heed to warnings that are being given your way because you get a tap, you get a punch, then the wall will fall down on you. And it's so hard to come back when the wall falls down on you. So basically, keep it pimping.